The Australian side out on the field. Wally Lewis, the captain. Paul Vaughton is there. Let's have a look at the Australian card here. Now, the team pretty well intact from the first two tests. The one big change, Martin Bella, wearing number 8. Coach, of course, Don Furner. The Great Britain side has been changed around, but the most important change is Paul Hume, number 9, the hooker. Hugh Waddell, number 10 in the front row, and Roy Powell wearing number 12, the coach, Malcolm Riley. The referee, Francis Duplat. Just about set here now for the third and final encounter of the bicentennial test. There's the kickoff. Straight away, Gregory takes the ball. He gets it back to Stevenson. Thumped down with some big defence. Well, Jack, this referee, you've already mentioned him. What about Martin Bella's selection?
Well, his last game in the Queensland game was pretty good. That was in the State of Origin, but his 2 previous club games, he's played more like Bella Star than Martin Bella. I thought it was very ordinary stuff.
Comments from Jack Gibson as Great Britain flick the ball back, but they get a penalty because Australia's offside. A familiar voice back home in Great Britain, Ray French, the head commentator for rugby league at the BBC. Ray, how do you see the changes to your side in this, the vital test?
Well, Donald, as you say, 9 players injured, but a lot of new lads playing today, with a lot of pride, and I think 2 or 3 lads have been really deservedly rewarded. Prop Hugh Waddell won 3 man of the matches up in country. He's played hard, and Paul Hume, tremendous enthusiasm since he came out on replacement. But we can never have had a test match for Great Britain where the hooker takes the field and he's never actually struck a ball in his life before. That must surely be unique.
Your comments very quickly on the referee, the Frenchman, Mr. Duplat.
Well, quite honestly, I'm not too bothered about the referee. I think he's quite inconsistent, and I can't quite get used to his 5-yard or his 10-yard rule, but I think it's a case of 50-50. I honestly think there's been a little bit of hysteria around him.
Okay, comments from Ray French. Hume coming back for Waddell, a new player. Stocky sort of a player. But, was injured early in the tour, but looks pretty fit this afternoon and raring to go. Comes back for Hume. That's David Hume. 2 brothers playing today. We mentioned that was creating history back in the second test when they both came on. And of course, both in the starting lineup this afternoon. David Stevenson. This is Gregory. On to Ward. Fullerton, Smith and Lewis in there. Hume dummy half out to Gregory. They look to switch it. There goes the kick. Plenty of chasers coming through too. A pressure kick. The ball is loose. But the referee had already called them back. And Gary Jack. Is it Gary Jack? No. There's an Australian down. Let's have a look at this again. Jack, it wasn't a bad kick.
Pretty fine kick. I can't work out what's happened here. He's given a 25 tap. I thought Australia knocked the ball on. I'll have to look at that in replay. I'm confused.
Taken by Hume. Pearce, pretty keen to do some running this afternoon, Wayne Pearce.
Well, he's always keen at that. He takes it up and there's no one else there. He didn't have a receiver, so he just had to run it.
Andrew Eddinghausen with a fine breakdown. Still going, Eddinghausen downfield. They come to get him. Here's the support. O'Connor stepping, centre field, trying to link up. Jackson was there, Lewis was there.
Yeah.
Well, the Frenchman has now given Great Britain a penalty. Wally Lewis arguing about it.
Well, that's the most confusing decision. Well, it's 3 in a row. I thought he was against Great Britain. The other 2, there's just no way. Lewis was offside there.
Well, that's right. I thought earlier on he made a bad decision when he just allowed the Great Britain try, and now he's come up with another one which could have cost Australia a try. The game's only been going about 10 minutes.
Well, I guess we've had a fair bit to say about this referee during this test series, but Jack, he just doesn't get any better. I mean, it's still very confusing, isn't it?
But we knew all that, and we had no one tough enough to make a decision to get somebody else there.
Ward with another strong run, reminiscent of his performance in the first test when he took out the man of the match. Really powering into the Australians this afternoon. Hume gets it on for Gregory, but it's gone out to Henderson Gill. He can't handle it though. A Great Britain player down now. It's Mike Gregory.
Well, O'Connor got him then. He got Mike Gregory with a high shot around the neck. I didn't do any damage. Mike Gregory laid there hoping for a penalty. But the penalty went the other way for Shepherd.
Lewis at dummy half, giving the signals away. It comes out to Sterling, then on to Jackson, on to Gary Jack. Gary Jack switches it back to Tony Curry. Curry only a few metres out, a good ball out for Pearce. Oh, good defence over, has he got there? So close, only about half a metre in it now. Dummy half, Jackson fires it out quickly. Sterling goes on to Backo. They're on to Backo pretty quickly though. Wally Lewis runs from there. Looking for Jackson, they handball it back for Martin Bella, on to Sterling, they're keeping it alive, the Australians. Ford though wraps him up, 10 metres out, losing a bit of ground, it comes to Lewis. There's a little stab for the winger, O'Connor, oh, handball out though. Henderson Gill came across to cut it off. Good patch of play from Australia, good defence too from Great Britain.
Well, they were all offside, Great Britain, but still their defence was good. They had a little start, but as I said, we got this referee. He's not going to pay much attention to any 5 yards around a 10-metre line.
Peter Sterling takes the ball from the kickoff. Andrew Heddinghausen, he's made one clean break this afternoon. This time wrapped up with Waddell. Also Ward. Comes back for Canescu, on to Vorton. Vorton finding little gaps up the centre. Plays it forward inside the 22. Still going. Vorton, if he can link up. Canescu. Oh, taken high by Ford, but the referee right on the spot. Says play on. This is Backo. Backo striving from the line. Backo. Big slam and Sam in action here now. Canescu, dummy half. He goes from there. They hold him up. Can he get it down? No. Well, Great Britain under a lot of attack here from Australia at the moment. Look at the bodies, they're everywhere.
Well, that's a replay of the last set of 6 tackles. They got to their line and they come up empty, Australia. It was good defence and good attack.
They're showing plenty of enthusiasm in the defence so far, Great Britain, and it's good to see. I do think some of the Australian players are a bit try-hungry out there. Would have preferred to see them spread a bit wider and trying to attack in so close.
On the 22, put a ball down. Pearce can't handle it. But we'll have a scrum. I like the way Ellery Hanley always appeals to the referee. I don't know if it makes any difference, but he tries.
Well, that's practice.
He certainly tries. He has a look every time it appeals. The Union Jacks are flying just offset with this scrum, so there's plenty of support here for Great Britain. It's been quite an amount of people come out from the old art for this tour. This is Stevenson. Stevenson recovered from a shoulder injury to come back into the centres. It's a back to Hume. Loose ball. Ellery Hanley trying to unload. There's just no one there. He stood there and spun and still couldn't unload it. Hume, dummy half. Hanley a little bit slow to get up to play the ball. He can't play the ball. No, he can't. Trying again. He's got a cramp, I'd say, in the leg. But anyway. This is Hume, Wardell, dummy half, and they're inside Australia's 22. They're in the danger zone now. Let's see if they can put a string of passes together. Yes, they do! Andy Gregory, he gets the ball out of there in! Oh, that's all right too! Martin Offia in for Great Britain. Some smart work there from Andy Gregory, and the Union Jack flies here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Oh, look at the colours going up from Great Britain. Martin Offia, he went in off Andy Gregory, but it was Ward who made the first bust. He got it to Gregory. Gregory split the Australian offence and lobbed the ball over. Offia in.
Well, I think we compliment Ward and we compliment Gregory. He did a little run around, did 2 handlings of the football, threw the ball, went forward about a foot or so, but it was close enough. Good try.
Here's the kick from Lachlan. And that's the angle for you. Not a bad looking kick, but it'll just be waved away. So Great Britain leading Australia 4 points to 0. Well, Ray French, that's the sort of start you wanted.
Well, that's a great start. You know, Offia's taken a lot of criticism about crossfield running. Well, he didn't run a crossfield there, you know. He took that chance well. But one of the differences is the 2 props, Kevin Ward and Hugh Waddell. They're really driving in at the Australian pack. And at the moment, they're letting them get some ground.
Well, we know what Ward can do, but Waddell, I'm impressed with his performance so far.
Well, Hugh Waddell, you know, he's come out of the second division with Oldham. He's had some tremendous performances at country, but he's put a good performance on, and he's been doing the job that your Australian props do. That's driving the ball close to the rucks and making people come in and tackle, and then the gaps come in wide on the outside.
Thanks, Ray. Right, Jackson now tackled in the 22. Some good play for Australia. They really started to run the ball around, but there's a handover on for Gregory. He's chopped down pretty quickly. He'll play it back to Hume. Waddell, the man Ray was just talking about. The Oldham club. He really has stiffened up this front row.
Well, I don't think it's going to make any difference to the hooker either, because Ward's the main man there, front row forward. He'll take care of that. There's a penalty here.
Well, it was a swan dive back there, honestly. I mean, we'll see that on a replay, and I just caught it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm not kidding. He's down on the ground at the moment. Up he gets. Well, let's hope he can stay there, but here he comes through now. We'll have a look. Well, I'll stick by my original statement. Lachlan. This will take play just outside the Australian 22. Hume gets it on to Wardell. Wardell with a bustling run, but plenty of defence in green and gold jumpers meet him. But they're just into the 22 now. Gregory spins it out for Ward. He gets it back for Gregory. Gregory straightens the attack up. If he's got some runners, he has in Hume. Ball loose. Gregory there to snap on it. He's darting around. He's elusive, this little man. Loose pass back. It comes on to Ford. He's a stepper forward. Winds up Ford. He's going to get there. Oh, they win again. Oh, there's some good play there that time from Ford. He can step this fellow, I'll tell you. And Andy Gregory doing the lead-up work again. Oh, the Englishmen are going mad in the crowd. Ford, Bradford Northern player. Well, the Australians at the moment, look at Gary Jack shaking his head saying, what's wrong, what's happened? Lewis saying, let's settle it down. Here we go, Andy Gregory. It came off Mike Gregory first. Now it went back to Hume. A loose pass, then Andy Gregory picked it up. Now this is where he made the inroads. He stood up the Australian defence. It was Wayne Pearce. Gary Jack then came and got him. But look at Ford, just stepping his way through. Still going, beating all the defence. That's a good try.
Well, I'd credit Eric, what's his name, that Hanley? I'd credit him. He got the Ellery. He got the penalty, which shouldn't have been given. And they got some momentum going from that play. The free kick put them on their 22 line.
Well, I probably disagree about the penalty. Once you kick the ball, you're entitled to run through, and I think there was a bit of infringement there on Hanley, so I think the penalty was probably reasonably well deserved.
1978, the last time Great Britain defeated Australia at Bradford. The last time in Sydney was in 1974. Not over yet, of course, but a handy lead. Remember in the first test, they led at 6-0 at half-time. Australian player down. It's Peter Sterling, holding his head as he slowly gets up. A wrestling match going on with Big Sam. They finally get Slam and Sam on the ground. Canescu dummy half. Pearce on to Lewis. Sterling in a lot of pain. But Australia now make the raid downfield. It goes back to Gary Jack. Gary Jack. Well, he just tried to get the ball to Jackson. Gets up again. Ellery Hanley, the defender. Jackson on to Lewis. Came onto the ball very strongly. Lewis still running. Trying to link it up. And again, they put the ball down 10 metres out from the Great Britain try line. Bullitt and Smith couldn't handle it. Well, Lewis came from a long way back to take that ball. Peter Sterling getting treatment way back the other end of the field. Peter Sterling, and he's holding that shoulder again, Jack.
He doesn't look healthy. I don't think he's going to finish this game in a football jumper.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on the reserve bench, but this is Pearce. Pearce, straight and hard. Pretty solid defence from Ford too. Pulled off a really good tackle in Canberra on Tuesday to save a try. This is Jackson. And Australia only a few metres out now. They'd love to score a try here. This is Borton. Borton straightening the attack up. Canescu into dummy half. Set move now, they're nice and deep. Peter Sterling back in the lineup. Too much defence though, Australia. Look for him to spin it. Jackson plays it to Canescu. Out to Lewis, a long floater for O'Connor. O'Connor dancing, gets it to Backo. Backo nowhere to go though. He flicks a wild one back and Great Britain fall on it. Powell. Lloyd Powell has the ball. Now it's Gregory. So again, Great Britain have staved off the Australian attack. Ward. Loose ball. Gregory gets onto it. A little run from Gregory. Quickly they belt him down. They were crunching defence. Fullerton, Smith and Backo. Back for Hume. On to his brother, David Hume. It's Paul, Hume and David. Paul playing in 9, David in number 6. Gregory. Again they're going to kick. So Martin Riley's tactics today. Keep it down there into the ground. Will he be a happy coach at long last?
Well, I probably thinks the same as I do. When you're 10 in front, you hope the bell will ring. Well, he hasn't got far to go to half-time. There's 7 minutes, but we all coach the same. The bigger and stronger and the meaner your players are, the better you coach.
Lewis, wild one back for Borton, can't be handled, loose ball. What's the referee going to do?
It's play on.
He's played on. Well, Great Britain with another great chance here. Martin off you, he reaches out, loses the ball. Gary Jack has it. Well, I think they panicked and rushed that one, Mick.
Well, yes, I think you can see try number 2 come up. You'd be better off taking the tackle. But I think that's Australia's doing most of the panicking. They're coming with plenty of lost balls. And again, the disappointing fact is they're still trying to attack too close to the ruck.
Peter Sterling off the field for Australia. And that is a blow. Henderson Gill. Well, Ray, we'll come to Ray in a moment as Gregory goes down. Ray, that's a big blow for Australia.
Nothing going right for Australia, but everything going right for Great Britain, Darryl. And as I say, it's these two props, Kevin Ward and Hugh Waddell, they're blasting holes in your defence. And little Andy Gregory, he's pirouetting around in midfield and putting the passes out there. And one of the things that amazes me is that suddenly Wally Lewis and Australia's concentration has gone, and they're all at 6s and 7s.
Well, you've read that pretty correctly, yeah, and I think Wardell is, I can't understand why he didn't get a run before the way he's playing, but he was carrying an injury, wasn't he?
Well, he was carrying an injury, but I felt that they went more for a ball player. They were looking for somebody like Lee Crooks, but he couldn't perform on the field, but certainly Waddell's showing the way home now. But also, let's give tremendous credit to this Great Britain defence. You had 10 or 12 tackles there on the line, and we really pushed you back.
Well, Great Britain now just outside the 22 line, you can see there, and they're running it across. This is Andy Gregory's been busy this afternoon. Throws a big floater back for Ford. Ford straightens it up. He's got a bit of step forward. Comes back. He's found a little gap again. Ford, if he can unload it, he does too. Oh, they're so close. Ellery Hanley getting it back for Martin off you. I don't think he's the man to have there, quite frankly, but he gets the pass away. Kevin Ward at the line. Kevin Ward, the Australians hold him up. Well, Ford doing some damage here this afternoon. Look at Gregory with a head back. Phil Ford is showing plenty of ability the way he's stepping around the Australian defence. Here's Ward, he's trying desperately to ground the ball and can't. So good defence from him. Waddell. Oh, big tackle there from Bella. Jackson in there to assist, but Bella hit Waddell head on. Jackson again, Canescu. 28 seconds, so 10-0 the score. Back for the clearer, and you can hear the singing in the grandstands at the moment. Great Britain support, ecstatic. Gary Jack. Again, the chasers are there though. Mike Gregory, also David Hume. Michael O'Connor. Time's out officially on the clock, and there it goes, and we have Australia running it out, but a shock here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Great Britain leading Australia 10 points to 0. Jack Gibson.
Well, they're playing with more than ability, they're playing with enthusiasm. They deserve their 10 points. They don't deserve 8, they deserve 10. And that's how I grade them. 10 points better team.
Well, Australia's performance, Jack, in the first half. Your comments?
My comments are this. They've been reading paper and listening to the news, the fact that the odds are in their favour, and they've grown soft. But by saying that, I still don't want to detract from Great Britain, because their performance has been strong. They've maintained right through.
Well, from the kick-off, Lachlan drove it down. It's picked up by Eddinghausen. He's met pretty hard. Now, tackles Australia have made 85, Great Britain 68. The top performance for Australia, Canescu with 17, Fullerton Smith 15, and Backo with a big run. Backo's made 15 tackles also. For Great Britain, Paul Hume 14, Ward 13, and Hanley 13. Canescu on for Wayne Pearce. Still going Pearce, determined, going forward. Canescu for Lewis. Trying to find the line, will he? Yes, he does. Great kick again from Lewis. Takes play into the 22. Well, kicks in general play. Australia 8. Great Britain 13. The scrums and penalty. 3-4 and 3-4, so it's been even possession there. Another Great Britain ball. No, it's fallen on by Australia. The referee says no, we'll have it again. Francis Duplat from Toulouse in France. Australia win it against the feed. What an important win that is, as Curry now comes up with it, and they're in the 22. Can they get a try on the board? Desperately needed. Backo hard and straight. Plenty of defence there, though. Canescu on to Vaughton. Vaughton props. Looks to unload but can't. The two Hume brothers doing the work there. On for Lewis. He's going to run Lewis. Only a couple of metres out. Can he get it down? Oh! Yes, try! Oh, Lewis so strong. Just bustled Great Britain. They hung off long enough for him to slam it down. He turned his back on him and they let him get it down. Bad mistake. But the try Australia were looking for. Now watch this, Lewis, when he decides to run, he's so dangerous. We've seen it so many times in State of Origin. He's wrapped up there, Wardell's got him, Ford's got him. Ward comes in, but he still gets it down.
The game's been on progress 3 minutes and we're looking for a playmaker. And who should come up? The captain, Wally Lewis.
I think it's been a slow
Well,
start.
that kick successful, 10 points to 6 now, Australia. O'Connor successful from wide in front. And that was Lewis's 9th test try, as Eddinghausen brings it out again for Australia. Canescu dummy half. They're back on the 22 line. Now we've got a match on our hands. Australia fighting back. Great Britain equally determined to keep them out. Remember, this is a World Cup points scoring match too. The third test of every series, amassing points for the World Cup. And Great Britain, look at Waddell. He's really unhappy about that Australia have come up with the ball. He's having plenty to say. Jackson, and starting to gain some ground. Malcolm Reilly, the Great Britain coach. He's had so many disappointments. Can he side hold? Hang on here. And Mickey's going back for a pretty important coaching job that may keep him out of the top job for Great Britain.
Well, he's going back to take over Leeds, and I think the rule stipulates over there, if you're coaching club side, you can't coach the Great Britain side.
Anxiety written all over his face, Malcolm Reilly, as Great Britain now are inside Australia's 22. Mike Gregory, 10 metres out. Andy Gregory, the little chip kick. They've rehearsed this many times at training. Through the runners come. Henderson Gill, and it's a try. Well, it's worked again. Look at this. Henderson Gill's gone absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Slapping hands, saying, what about that? Well, it came out of a training movement. Watched him do it repeatedly. Andy Gregory slotted the kick in, and he's done it. Watch this. There's the little kick. The ball bouncing pretty well. You can't see anybody from here. The ball goes loose. A clash of Australian players and Henderson Gill on it.
It was a fair try. It's a collision course for Australia. A little slow getting to the football. Bang, it squirted loose. Yeah, and there he goes, just puts it down.
I think it was important for Great Britain to come back with a quick try after Australia's early try in the first half, early try in the second half. And I think at the moment you must say them with a great chance of winning the game.
Ray French.
Andy Gregory's certainly having a big influence here. I mean, he stood still, Andy Gregory, weighed all the options up there, and that was a precision kick. You might say that it was bad play by Australia. They didn't quite judge it, but let's give credit to this little dynamo here in midfield. He's putting the tackles in, he's putting the runs in, and he's controlling the game.
You're out of control today, Ray, I can tell you. And the kick successful. So the score now, 16 points to 6. Great Britain over Australia. Canescu on the Backo. He gets it back to Canescu. And he loses the ball again. So Australia making lots of mistakes here this afternoon. Mike Gregory onto it. Waddell. Well, Australia making plenty of mistakes, Mick, aren't they?
Well, yeah, this is what we're used to seeing Great Britain doing. They're not controlling the ball today, Australia. But I think the big thing was they come out, played very well the first 5 minutes, and Great Britain started slow, but after that try, Great Britain are playing much stronger again now. Australia have got plenty of work to do if they're going to win this game.
Well, I mean, the Australian side unchanged. I mean, the understanding, the training, the burning camp.
Well, it's probably a great level of complacency, and I think that's might be, I think Australia's coming today expecting to win, and the other side's come here wanting to play.
Well, you can't deny them. They've played very well this afternoon. Look at Henderson Gill, out of 1, out of 2, out of 3, still going, Henderson Gill. Still going. Oh, powerful run. Didn't make a lot of ground, I'll tell you, but boy, gee, went through some defence. Andy Gregory kicking once more. Gary Jack's got to go back from Mike Gregory steaming through. Gary Jack bundled into touch, so that's good play from Martin off here and gets a pat on the head from Mike Gregory too.
And certainly the fundamental mistakes are starting to surface. What's with Great Britain, they're getting a lot of late ball away. But Jack here to get pulled out in that situation, that was juvenile stuff.
Well, this scrum around about 9 metres out from the Australian line, and it's a Great Britain feed. So the pressure on the green and gold again. 16 to 6, a try here to be more than handy. And little Andy's got the ball. He goes the skinny side, the blind side, and wrapped up by Eddinghausen. Mike Gregory, plenty of instructions coming out. Goes to Hume. On to Ellery Hanley. They come back up inside though with Stevenson. 7 metres out. From dummy half they go. That's Paul Hume from the Widnes Club. There it is, the Australian defensive line. On to Ward. Ward, can he unload it? He does to Gregory. There's a long floater out taken by Eddinghausen. He's got some pace, Eddinghausen. Defence comes through. Eddinghausen kicks. Now the chase is on. Ford going back for it. Ford takes it. O'Connor with him. He gets out of O'Connor's tackle. He's taken by the Eddinghausen forward pass. Oh, that was a forward pass. Had to be pulled up. Listen to the crowd, they saw it too. But Ellery Hanley's still going. The referee's missed it completely.
That was a poor play by Eddinghausen. I can't help it. They've been without the ball for many plays. He gets it on the first one and kicks it with no chases.
History about to be made unless Australia can fight back and do it quickly. Vaughton. Still short of the 22 by about 5. Canescu on to Backo. Backo one out the back door. Gets it to Vaughton. Where are the runners? Fullett and Smith. They're all too slow. Someone needs to get deep. Vaughton on to O'Connor. O'Connor. He goes back inside where the defence is though. Gregory, good in defence today. Gregory has been in every series. Canescu, Vaughton, Lachlan is there though, and that man Gregory. So he certainly does a lot of defensive work. Lewis flicks one out for Canescu up in the air. Well, I don't know what sort of pass that was. It goes on to Ford. They'll need to trap him in there and get it back. He's still going. He's a rubber man, this fella. A rubber man. This time they belt him down. Ellery Hanley wants to chat with the referee. The referee's not interested. The scrum will pack 10 metres out. Well, desperation stuff for Australia. They're throwing the ball everywhere, hoping someone can just grab it and make a break. Backo and Ward, two tough heads there, as hard as you'd find in rugby league. Watch the scrum go in here. There they go, and Ward controlling his side. And look at Stephen. Andy Gregory's burrowed in like a ferret. Wardell's going off again. Gregory and Curry having a wrestling match for the ball. Curry says, I'll take it. Andy Gregory was like a ferret up a rabbit hole then. Jackson. Out of one, Jackson. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis straightens up. Defence is there. They're keen, Great Britain. Leading 16-6. Australia need to score here desperately. Gets it on to Jackson. But again, this defence comes over. This time, David Hume. Backo, he's in! Oh, the big fella maintains his record and cracks him and gets the try Australia needed. Oh boy, didn't they need it. Big Slam and Sam. Scoring tries with gay abandon this season. He done good, he runs strong, he sure did. I've heard that before. Look at Sam Backo here, straight into the line and takes Lachlan with him.
Well, a little extra ball by Australia. Sam got some momentum up. They're all standing beside the man who played the football. I suppose that was the idea.
Sam Backo from Canberra. Test tries 3 now. Not a bad record when you think about it. He scored a try in each of the tests. Here's the kick from O'Connor. Yes, so now the score a little bit more respectable, 16 points to 12. Can they keep going, Australia? Can Great Britain hold them out? Okay, the scoreline at the moment, 16 points to 12. Australia back in Great Britain's half, attacking. Peter Sterling went off in the first half with a shoulder injury. Lewis, the chip and the follow. Will he get the bounce? He does! Lewis gets the bounce and just falls over. He loses the ball. Well, Martin Offier has got it, but Lewis has gone down on that shoulder. So he went down hard. Ellery Hanley now running it out. Plenty of defence for Australia. Wayne Pearce is there. Jackson is there. But Lewis in a bit of pain. So is Hanley. He's had trouble all afternoon, Hanley. That's the 3rd time he hasn't been able to get up. Ray, has he got a hip problem?
I think Ellery's got a calf problem, actually. It could be cramp, you know. He's done a tremendous amount of work. He's done an awful stint of tackling there. And then again, I think possibly there may be a little bit of the professional soldier. He's steadying the game down. He's slowing it down. Great Britain nearly went under there with Wally Lewis.
Waddell coming off. Brian Case is on in jumper number 15. Hugh Waddell is off. And he's had a great test match here today. This is Ward. Brian Case in number 15. And we've also got Bob Linder in 15 on the Australian line. This is Lachlan. Lachlan winds up. Lachlan straight through. Australia still going. Lachlan. And he's got support too. Unloads it. Oh, look at this. Henderson Gill winding up. It's a chase. Gary Jack comes with him, but that's a great try. Oh, Great Britain in, and he does a bit of a boogie. And the Union Jack flags here have gone absolutely crazy. Well, what a try. Lachlan just strode through the Australian defence. Got it under Henderson Gill, and Gill did the work. Up go the hand slaps. Great emotion here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Oh boy, look at Australia. Can't believe it. O'Connor's face tells the story. Here's Lachlan. He gets it on to Henderson Gill. Can't this boy motor? He saw the defence coming across. It was Gary Jack. Too much pace and puts in a big dive to finish it off. And then does a bit of boogie. This is Paul Lachlan from the St Helens Club now. Getting set for the kick. 20 points to 12. What a vital kick. Sun's in his eyes. It's a difficult angle, the 22 and the touch. He's in by half a metre. There it goes. Gee, it looks all right. No, waved away. So the score remains 20 points to 12. Great Britain over Australia. Lewis gets it on to Gary Jack. Lachlan has played well. Ford has played well. His entire Great Britain side has played well today. O'Connor will play it back for Jackson. Lewis. Horton. Oh, and some big defence. A good tackle from Kevin Ward. Bang, just hit him and Horton went down. Rattle the bones, that one. Bella.
Well, Australia with Sterling out of the play doesn't seem to be able to organise too much there. They're just working up one out.
This is Backo. Last tackle Australia. There's a long pass out from Lewis. Jackson gets in between the defence and O'Connor can't take it. So again the ball goes wanting. Henderson Gill says, I'll take it, I'll have another run. Gill comes back across the field. They take him right in front of the post, about 5 metres out. Hume. Andy Gregory makes another three. Oh, still going, Andy Gregory's got Mike Gregory with him. Here's another try coming up, and he can link up. Gregory, has he got the legs? Down he goes. He'll get there. Mike Gregory has done it for Great Britain under the post. Oh boy. Andy Gregory opened him up, and Mike Gregory went on with it. And that is almost the length of the field. Look, the atmosphere here, unbelievable at the moment. Oh boy, Andy Gregory, let me tell you, he made the break. Lewis, he can't believe this. Now watch this. Andy Gregory got through some terrible defence of Eddinghausen. He gets it on to Mike Gregory. Now he had support in off here. Lewis holding back off here there. But Gregory knew he had the legs. Wayne Pearce running him down, doing the best he can. But Gregory too strong from there and in under the post, and that's about it.
Here we go. It's just a matter of Gregory and Gregory. They put the job together. They got 6 points out of it too. And also got the third test.
I think it's a just reward for Mike Gregory. In every game we've seen him play, he's always shown he's been prepared to work. But we probably don't expect to see him score 50-yard tries, but when they need it most, he's come up with one.
He sure has. Paul Lachlan, 2 from 4. This one's a sitter. Can throw it over from here. There it is. He's got it. So, 26 points to 12. Great Britain over Australia. Malcolm Reilly, he would be ecstatic about this. He's worked so hard with a side that lost 9 players. This is a patched up test side. They were written off by everybody, and why wouldn't they on some of their performances? But boy oh boy, they've outgunned them, they've outkicked them, they've out-tackled them, they've outplayed Australia today, and here they go again. There's no stopping this side. Oh yes they will, the referee will stop them. It's about the only one that can.
Well, that ball had to go 10 metres or 10 yards, and it didn't. Great Britain picked it up.
Well, look at this support. Here's the kick-off again for you. Australia hanging off it, of course, but boom. Well, I tell you what, this ground will go berserk here at the end of this. The English supporters have paid a lot of money and flown a long way to be here to savour this moment. Bella, another man that's savouring the moment, Ray French.
I really am savouring this moment, Darryl, and really 1 to 13 or 1 to 14 with Brian Case on. This is a proud moment, and I think at last we've resurrected International Rugby League. We've shown what a true test match really should be about. The traditions here of these Ashes matches. This has been a marvellous test match.
Gregory on the ball again, and I agree with you. Rugby League needed to be stabilised internationally, and this side has done that this afternoon. Australia have won the series, but Great Britain look to have this one wrapped up. They get the World Cup points and they'll meet again in that final, and Ray, that'll be a beauty.
Well, it should be a beauty, Darryl, but we've got to beat New Zealand a week tomorrow over in Christchurch, and that really is the crucial match. I think we still need 2 more points to get in there.
Okay, our information said if you won here today, you would play Australia. That might not be correct. Australia now chasing the ball deep down through Gary Jack. 6 minutes remaining. The score 26-12. Jackson. Stevenson with some good defensive work. Borton. Back for Eddinghausen. Slow motion stuff at the moment from Australia.
Well, I think Australia realises they can't win this test match, and I think that's playing out time.
Well, I'll pick a man of the match. I give it to Malcolm Reilly. He's really had a team chopped up. Bit of size. We've got no patrons here. What it should have had. If this has been a full... If we could have predicted Great Britain win, it would have been 40,000 here. Congratulations to Malcolm Reilly.
Yeah, but apart from that, Jack, and apart from the ticket prices, and apart from everything else, it is a disappointing thing to think that this stadium is only half full for this match this afternoon. And Sydney people, I don't know why you're not here, but you're missing one of the best games we've seen in a long, long time.
Well, I'll give you 6 reasons why they're not here. Probably the money value to get here, and the previous performance of Great Britain wasn't great.
And here they go again, throwing the ball around. Henderson Gill, can he keep going? He's through Gary Jack, but it's a forward pass. A forward pass. Throws the head back. Oh, is he keen?
It was a fair decision. Went forward.
Is he keen? Here we go. The pass from Ellery Hanley. 2 minutes 32 remaining. So Great Britain certainly have got this wrapped up at 26-12. And I'm telling you, this ground will explode with Union Jacks at the end of this. Powell, out of one. Powell is still running hard. Hume on for Ellery Hanley. Hanley coming through. He's been down 2 or 3 times. It's been a courageous performance from him. Gets it on to Hume. He's pulled something in the leg because he pulled up real quick. He can't play the ball. He's pulled something in his knee or his calf. You can just see he pulls it here. He's running, and all of a sudden you feel it there. The twinge. He's done a little prop there, and there it is. As soon as he's propped, you can see the pain on his face. The Union Jack has waited a long time to fly high in rugby league circles internationally. Boy, oh boy, it's flying high this afternoon. Eddinghausen has Offia there. Races past Offia quite easily, but they come back and get him and play just into Great Britain's half. 1:24 on the clock. Comes out for Bella. This is Curry. Turns it back inside for Bobby Limner. 1:04 on the clock. Borton. With this defence, has worked hard all day. Case is in there, Ward is in there. Another strong game from Ward.
There's been a lot of good players there for Great Britain. I think they're going to come up with a try, Australia.
Tony Curry gets it back for Jackson and on to Lewis. Can Australia go in the dying seconds? This is Belcher. Belcher, last tackle Australia. Lewis gets one for Gary Jack, but straight away he's belted down. The ball goes loose, and Great Britain have fallen on it. Malcolm Reilly, he just wants to hear the siren. That's all he wants to hear.
Well, we've got 20 seconds left, and we've got 4 plays left for Great Britain. There'll be 4 runs from dummy half. Congratulations, Great Britain.
Ford. Mick, your summary?
Well, I think they've definitely been the better side today. They've come out prepared to work in defence. They've been creative in attack. Whereas Australia have come up, their discipline with the ball has been very ordinary today, and it's something we don't expect from the Australian side.
It's all over. Ray French is delighted. The English flags will fly here now. Malcolm Reilly, what a great moment for him. And look at the Union Jack flying high. Strong emotion here at the Sydney Football Stadium. They've waited a long, long time, and this little man had a lot to do with it. He's had a marvellous game. Mike Gregory, a great game. Ellery Hanley, courageous, been down a number of times and came back. Laughlin's played the best game we've seen him play in this country today. And here's the Australian players disappointed. Why wouldn't they be? It's been a proud record. 4 straight series, 3-0, 15 tests in a row against Great Britain. The players over to their English fans. Warder's over there, Laughlin's over there, Stevenson is over there. Look at this. A great, great moment for them.
Henderson, you must be the happiest man in Australia.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been on the winning side against an Australian team. Oh, it means a lot to me. We've taken a lot of flack from the minute we arrived on these shores, and mind you, I've got to give respect to Malcolm, really. He's had nothing but problems from the minute he left England. Key players dropping out and injuries and things like that. We owe a lot to him.
And did you really expect you were going to score 2 tries here today on this ground?
Not 2. I was praying that I'd score 1 at least, but so happens I got 2. I'm really happy, most of all, for all the flack that we've taken. No disrespect to Australia, but the better team won on the day, and rugby league in England has improved.
Thanks,
Malcolm, really, at last you can smile. It's been a very, very tough tour, but gee, you must be happy now.
Tremendous result. It's made everything worthwhile. The lads have worked hard, and I've kept faith in them. And even with all the injury situation as it's been, I'm really pleased to be associated with them. I'm proud to be a member of the squad.
We're fascinated to know what you've said to get these guys from their fits of depression that they must have been in after some of these losses this tour, to get them up to this standard.
Bit of bulldog spirit, mate. There's nothing more dangerous than an Englishman with his back to the wall.